Continue, Jake. The tribe has spoken.
Fuck you, Kevin.
Aw, fuck you too, sweetie.
I'm JJ, one of the original Tribe of Nerds members. You can catch me on Marvel, Pokemon, and other gaming podcasts.
What up? It's Josh, resident superhero nerd, but I also dabble in the occasional super villain as well.
Some may know me as the Chaos Gremlin, but really I'm just Joe King.
Pikachu, use Volt Tackle! Good job, Pikachu!
On the Tribe of Nerds. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Tribe of Nerds. Austin, Matt, and I are here for episode 7 of the Traitors. So let's get into it. And we lost some big players this week. Pretty predictable after last week that it was going to go this way. But goodbye to Derek and Boston Rob. So...
yeah, rip to them. Big gamers. It's definitely going to be a different riff now in the game. I mean, Rob and Derek have definitely been controlling the past few episodes. I feel like Derek's been spewing out a lot of speculation. Rob obviously has been at the round table getting hit at past 2 weeks now. Yeah. So it's going to be really different now. We're basically going to see the agenda of what Danielle and Carolyn come up with, and I mean, we will talk about what is gonna lead next episode later, because there is 6 up for elimination, but only 5 can actually be, murdered. But right. Yeah, I'm gonna be interested because now the game's rifting. Like I said, it's gonna go into a different direction, and like players I thought were safe the past few episodes, they're definitely just got flipped around to probably not being so safe, not protected anymore. So yeah, it was predictable. I definitely was like, wow, I knew that was going to happen, but yeah.
Agreed. Matt, your thoughts?
Yeah, it was definitely predictable. Now that Derek and Rob are gone, there's going to be a big vortex for characters to appear, and this is the time for Tom and Sam to finally show up and give us something. Maybe even Ivar, or is he only like a piece of furniture that is moved from room to room? But yeah, I mean, all 3 Cage boys went out back to back. This is yes, I'm curious on what Danielle and Carolyn are going to be doing now, because they have to work together now, right?
Yeah, they have to.
So. You really hope so, because I mean, they probably can work together pretty damn well. I feel like they have a lot of the same agenda now. I feel like.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like if they keep going at each other and they get each other out, like they are actually gonna be screwed. So
I mean, don't get me wrong, it would be fun to watch them go at it, and like if Carolyn gets out on top, I'd be really interested to see who she would like recruit or something. That would be hilarious. I would love like a Gabby, but we'll see.
Yeah, this is a breakout episode for people that we haven't been seeing, and as you guys said, Tom especially, and then Sam actually had speaking lines after 6 weeks of not really saying anything.
Yeah, I finally know who Sam is just because they showed that shot of him without a shirt. It's like, Now I get why Sam's on the show.
Yeah, and the title of being Britney Spears' ex. So
yeah, speaking of that, I mean, Mike Bloom said it on Blue Sky, but when there was a snake around Sam's neck, why did they not do a Britney callback? Come on, people.
Oh my God, that challenge. Let's talk about that, because I was like, okay, why are they handing them goggles? And I'm like, okay, is it because disgusting stuff, creepy crawlies? And that's exactly what ended up happening. So they put millipedes on them.
It was fine.
Millipedes are fine. It's a little bit gross, but I could deal with that. It's when they start putting like the spiders or like the scorpions, and then
Yeah, when the confetti started falling, that's when
okay,
even I'd be like, "Ooh, this is not gonna be fun."
yeah, and the confetti of mealworms and yeah, that was bad.
Yeah,
And
the
then
snake was probably the one point where I would have been like 50-50, like, oh, I don't know. I don't know if I want to be here anymore. Just things that are wrapped around my neck. I don't know. I would have been like Sierra for sure. I'd have been like, ah, yeah, Boston Rob's got to be talking to me. Where are we going for dinner in New York or whatever?
Yeah, I was madly impressed by Boston Rob. He was super calm. Dylan was calm. Sam was laughing as things were falling on him.
yeah, I think that the grossest thing is when like, Brittany's like, "Oh, it's going in my bra," and like just like the different crevices that your things can fall into. I'm just like, that'd be
Yeah.
disgusting.
When somebody said it was going into their ear, that's the one. That's the
Yeah,
point where I may have freaked out because I've seen Survivor go wrong, and that was messed up.
yeah, Jenny, with the bug in her ear. Yeah, that was freaky. So,
They had
um,
some good clips though. You had Tom, all of them in his hat. I was like, oh my God. And then Sierra, her like netting, they were all climbing up it. I'm like, oh my God, this is
yeah,
hilarious.
I feel like the hat that Tom had is the move because then things aren't going in your hair. You're like, it's
Yeah.
all on the brim of your hat.
Yeah. Well, let's also speak about Dylan. He says that he does this for fun. And last week we learned he's a champion rock paper scissors guy. What the hell is Dylan doing with his life? What is going on?
I don't know.
He
Dylan,
was just out here vibing.
Yeah,
interesting.
I guess he really is down to earth. So
Yeah. Uh,
Lotto.
well, so what is it? Chriselle and Dolores are out immediately because they immediately pull their hands out, so they're immediately vulnerable. And then Tom and Dylan are out.
yeah, yeah, because only Chriselle was the only one who had pulled out. Then they had to do the tiebreaker. This
Yeah.
is the part where I may have been a little bit freaked out because now you're crushing bugs to get to a ring. It's like and like the whole thing was like moving. It's like no, thank you.
Yeah, that would have been gross. So yeah, so who are the other and then Gabby and Carolyn were the other two, but Carolyn's
Yeah.
not here, obviously, so
Yeah, and then Brittany is also no.
no, it was just those six, but really
Oh
five.
yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of Gabby, I thought it was hilarious when she came in and she sat down and she's like, "Oh, I think it's Ivar who's gonna go home. Like, it could go get murdered." And the dude's like,
Hey, I'm right here.
Brittany was
Yeah.
cracking up. I was like, "That's so funny."
Yeah, that was funny. And like as Matt brought up the furniture comment from Brittany, and then when she's like speaking to Ivar so awkward, she says something, Ivar just like sits there. I'm just like, okay, so you really are a piece of furniture. Like you're just not even talking.
Was this the come out of Tom? Like, I
Oh
swear
yeah.
to God,
Let's talk
he was
about
all over the place this episode. Like, he's just walking behind Dylan and Rob. He's in all these conversations. I mean, he basically was hitting on the note that it's Rob. I was like, damn, okay, Tom, you're finally like we woke up a little bit.
I think Austin and I said his gears finally started turning, and Austin, you said a mouse finally started running on.
The mouse finally found it.
I like Tom as a character, so for him to all of a sudden like break out is here is strange, but it's fun. I don't think Tom's making it out of this one. Like I almost think
Yeah.
that he's the one that gets murdered next week.
Yeah, I guess if we're talking about who we suspect at this point out of like the five, I definitely feel like Gabby in my POV is probably the most safe just because I know Carolyn's not gonna want Gabby gone.
Mhm.
But I know the other four, they probably both don't care as much. Dylan probably is way up there now just because Rob's gone and he's kind of just so faithful at this point. But I also have like that theory that like the Tom Chriselle thing, if they get rid of one, the other one can get planted pretty good. And I mean, Chriselle even said at the what was that, the breakfast, if Tom went home, that's probably like like if she was in the turret, she would be sending Tom home immediately or whatever the hell she said. So I'm sitting there going like, okay, one of those two could definitely get hit, like, and they could like try to rope the other one down because of it. I don't have a read on Dolores. Like honestly, I have no idea what the people in there think of her, so I don't have an opinion on her. But
Yeah. Matt, any other thoughts?
Austin basically covered it, but going back to last week, this is exactly what I didn't want to happen. It's a stupid public killing. No, it would have been way better if like they have to kill him in view of everybody else. Because now it's just like, okay, cool. The person who gets killed finds out who the traitor is as they die. Yay!
Right. Yeah, it's very weird, and like I don't know. I just feel like now like there's a few people that are interesting as we've mentioned, but now it's just like a lot of the big names are now out of the game right now, so it's far less interesting.
Yeah, now we just have Danielle and Carolyn. Those are basically the only two.
And Tom
But
is like a breakout character, but
I
Tom's
could.
probably dead.
Yeah, Tom's probably dead. And then maybe for Shell, just because her outfits are being killer now. Like when she showed up in that wedding, I was like, damn, nobody kill her, please.
Yeah, these outfits are really, really wild. But yeah, and then I like Dylan, but like yeah, aside from them, yeah, everybody else just gets a thumbs down from me.
I mean, I'm excited to see the next few episodes. Like, I know I was way more excited to see my gamers that I knew coming in here, but like,
They're all
I'm
gone.
just excited to see what happens with some of the other players, like my Selling Sunset girl, my Bachelor girl. Like, I want to see if they can survive a few more rounds because, I mean, there's connections with everyone at one point. I mean, like I said earlier, Carolyn and Gabby are kind of like a clique. I mean, I think Chriselle and Dylan are way screwed now because they were pretty like minions of Boss and Rob. But I
Yeah.
mean, like Sierra, I've been saying I think she sneaks in somehow to the end game, and I think she could still like. I mean, it's just gonna be really interesting to see what happens because is Brittany and Danielle gonna work together now? Like, are they gonna not keep it low key anymore? Or like, is this Sam Ivar duo actually gonna somehow sneak through? You know what I mean?
No,
Like, I don't know.
no, no.
The Furniture Alliance,
Yeah,
yes.
The Furniture
it's definitely
Alliance.
happening. Yeah, armchair alliance. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Going back to the first murder with Derek. Now, I don't think that this would have been the right time to do it, but since the traitors knew who had a shield, would now be the time to cover their asses and try to murder somebody who has a shield, because like the people in the groups knew who had the shield. So if like Carolyn's group, like oh no, Carolyn had the shield, which she wore at breakfast. I don't know if you saw that, but
I didn't
that was
notice
it. That was in her outfit. But
Oh,
like
wow.
if like Boston Rob's or Danielle's group, like they knew who had the shield and they target them, then that person will think, well, it's obviously not Rob or Danielle because they saw that I had the shield.
Yeah, I feel like Rob was screwing up as soon as like the Cage Boys didn't work
Yeah,
together. I think Wes, Derek, and Rob all should have worked together, and then they didn't. And so I think Rob was just doomed as soon as Wes went, and as soon as him and Derek started going at it. Like that's
And that's
unfortunate.
funny that you say that, Matt, because I made a comment while we were watching the turret round, and I was like, it's funny that Rob brought up Dylan because he has a shield and nobody really knows in there. And I thought it would have been really interesting if Danielle would have not had the opinion she had, because obviously she was like, hell no, like that's dumb if you want him gone. And then they probably like declined that at that point. But I thought it was an interesting like comment. Like it would be interesting if they knew someone had a shield and they just got rid of them to kind
Yeah,
of blend more in.
yeah,
That's an interesting strategy.
yeah. Hopefully they do that in, like season 4 or something. Because
right.
I'm also curious on what would have happened if the traders couldn't agree. I'm just assuming it would go to whoever had the most votes, like two out of three.
Right.
Because but now that there's only two traders, I'm gonna be very curious if Danielle and Carolyn can't agree.
Yeah, I Danielle was just like disagreeing with everything. I'm like, you kind of have to agree on at least one person. You can't just keep saying no to like four different people. I feel like that's a bit much. But like, I did feel like her agreeing to send Derek home out of everybody was potentially a bad move for her. Again, Derek has her back potentially.
Yeah,
So
yeah, but I also think that was a way for her to help put the nail in Rob's coffin.
yeah, that's true. That's true. I think that was why she agreed to it, is so she could finally cut Rob. Yeah.
Yeah, and like we had a lot of names that had been tossed around at roundtables. There, it's kind of all depleted finally. So like we're back at the square of like, who the hell is the next name that's going to be brought up? Like, are we going back to the Danielle? Are we going just Tom just because half the girls hate him? Like, you know what I mean? Like, who are we going to start leaning to? So it's going to be interesting who they murder here, because if they murder somebody,
Alan, they're going after Alan.
Yes,
Alan.
Alan and his amazing wedding dress suit.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I gotta give him props on that one. I actually was like, damn, all right, I kind of like that.
Yeah. Plus, I also liked his like all white suit when he came in for breakfast. Like, damn, Alan really can pull off 99% of every outfit.
Yeah. Also, I was spoiled a bit on Twitter, unfortunately, but I did one thing that I saw beforehand, and then when I watched the episode, was Alan coming into the round table and scaring Carolyn.
Oh yeah.
That's what I wanted to see out of this entire season, was Carolyn getting surprised. I thought it'd be Tony that did it to her, but the fact that Alan makes it funnier.
Oh my God. I was surprised Rob was kind of calm and collected on his exit. I was hoping a little more vengeance, but he was just kind of like, deuces, you got me. I'm the traitor. Bye.
Yeah.
Like,
I'll give credit to production, because when Rob was doing his spiel and the music was started, I was like, you know what? Maybe he does find another way to stay. But then I was like, oh no, there's still a bunch of time left, so he's definitely gone.
Yeah, yeah. Like, I hated how they cut to a commercial on Danielle's vote. It's like, we're pretty confident she's voting.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I know who she's going to vote for. And then whoever was the second person voted for Tom. I was like, what the hell? Gabby,
Yeah.
I think it was Gabby. I don't know.
I think it was Chriselle, because
Yeah,
I think Gabby was the
yeah.
last vote, and she was Rob.
Okay, so Chriselle.
And I know Dylan then threw his vote. So
Yeah,
like,
also,
Gabby.
come on, Dylan, man. I hate that. It's like, oh, I don't want to vote for either of these two. Well, fuck you, Dylan.
you
I
kind
hope
of
you die
right.
now.
but
it's just funny he threw it on Gabby, in my opinion, because like I know he throws it in every other episode, like Gabby's a traitor, and I'm just like, this is hilarious. You just want her to be a traitor at this point.
I know. I just feel like the evidence was there, and yeah, Dylan just wanted an excuse to not vote for Rob.
Yeah. One thing I realized is that these challenges don't really matter, because if I had to quiz you right now, how much money is in the bank for this season? I have zero idea.
It was like 20,000 something. I don't know.
Well, that's for this challenge. For like total, I'd be like, I don't know, 170
compared to Deal or No Deal, where they say every episode what's in the bank. Like, I couldn't tell you.
I wish they would keep like a running total or something. Like put it in the fucking corner for 5 seconds, for crying out loud, because I don't even know.
Maybe put it in the corner for 5 seconds instead of giving everybody a fucking shield. Like as soon as they said half of you are gonna be safe, I was like, oh my God.
What is this, Survivor the New Era? Like, where they give everybody immunity?
Yeah.
They definitely have been given way more shields this season. Like, what was it? Season 1? What was it, like 2 shields?
Total? And it didn't even show up until like the final 4 episodes.
And you had to like find them in the castle, didn't you? That season or something like that?
Well, you had to find them in the Scarecrow. Or, I don't know. I think that may have season 2. But yeah, it was very hard to find, and you didn't know who actually had it. Now everybody knows everything. It's like,
yeah,
this is why Traitors UK is better. Just saying.
Yeah,
I haven't watched any of the international ones yet. Now that I'm even more interested in Traitors, I'm gonna have to.
Cameron sent me the link for Traitors Australia, and I watched the first episode. I actually thought it was pretty good. So
yeah, each country has their like own different version, but UK is better because it's all like normal people or plebes, as South Africa would say. But it just makes it a little bit better, because like some of these reality stars you shouldn't be on. I mean, like Chriselle, even though you're fun and you give content, it's like you don't have the strategy for this.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, she's just there. Like, she sells real estate, you know what I mean? Like, she doesn't know what the hell's going on game-wise in this game.
Right.
Yeah, so she's the real villain here if she's the one selling real estate in this economy. Come on.
Yeah. I mean, she thought Nikki Bella was a traitor, so and that it was pretty obvious that Nikki
Oh, don't
Bella was
start me
not.
with that. I was so pissed at Chriselle. I'm like, why? What makes you actually think Nikki's a fucking traitor just because everyone else says so?
Yeah, that was because she was following Rob at that point.
Yeah.
Yep.
I forgot who said it this episode. I think it was Brittany, and where she's like, "Well, don't listen to me. All of my theories have been wrong."
Yeah,
That shit's funny when you just downplay your like how crappy you've been
Yeah.
like publicly.
yeah, yeah. Anything else to discuss with this episode?
I'm gonna be excited to watch the thing they put on YouTube when Derek and Boston Rob meet. I'll be excited to
Oh,
see how that goes.
Yeah, I'll
oh
be
yeah.
interested as well for sure. And I think next week is this where Kate and Parvati finally show up.
They did. They didn't show the previews. I thought they were going to show up during the wedding because they had like
Yeah,
almost like
Oh
wedding
yeah.
outfits.
yeah, I thought so too, but they didn't. It was that was odd. I don't know because I think I hoped this last season with Dr. Will as well that they were gonna have Dr. Will show up when like Dan was there, or and then like this week Parvati is there when Rob is there, but of course
Yeah.
both those situations didn't happen.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, speaking of previews, I'm still fucking mad about last week. We're like, yeah, somebody's going to get murdered publicly, and then they didn't even do it this episode.
yeah,
They
yeah,
let us on.
was annoying.
Come
I
on,
was
Peacock.
I was so confused. I'm sitting there, Derek goes in the room. I'm like, what the fuck? I thought it was
Yeah.
supposed to be some kind of public kill.
Yeah, that's how they made it seem for sure. So that was weird, but oh well, a pretty decent episode.
Yeah.
Out of the three Traitors seasons so far, I guess maybe this one would be the best of the three, but
Ooh, I would say I really enjoyed two. Two I really enjoyed.
two is good as well. Because I mean at least two, it was definitely more. I guess the game was more all over the place, and people were finding traitors more often, and obviously it
Yeah.
was one.
Yeah.
So
Plus, I love CT and Trishelle. So,
yeah, yeah. So
oh, what if Chriselle's going to win? I hope Chriselle wins this season because that means every season somebody's name who starts with C wins.
oh wow.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
and then
true.
it'll be a combination of CT and Trishelle. Trishelle, just saying. Maybe that's why she's on this season. You know.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe. Yeah. I that's interesting. And a lot of C names have been traitors. I mean, Suri and Christian, CT,
No,
but
CT wasn't, but yeah.
or sorry, why am I thinking? Sorry, I blanked for a minute. CT was
Yeah.
not,
CT's on the brain, man.
yeah, I was thinking so that's two, I guess. I'm trying have there
Yeah.
been other
I think it's just two. I think it's just two. Season one. It was just season one.
Carolyn, but that's
Oh, Caroline, there you go. Yeah,
there we go. That's it.
Okay, well, that's enough of it.
I have too many C names on the brain now. Okay.
You're having reality TV CTE right now.
Anything else?
I hope this season gets better because now that everybody's gone, like now I'm just all in on Carolyn. It's like that's the only person I'm rooting for.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess closing
most.
I guess closing thoughts on my end. I biasly am enjoying this season just because I know a bunch of the people still left.
Yeah.
It'll be funny to see how the season ends because it's definitely I feel like there's like six of the remaining, what is it, 10 are just like brainless with what the hell is the actual hell's going on. And yeah, my Sierra pick is still in it somehow. So let's see if she can get to the final five. I'm still hoping for it, but yeah, we'll see how this goes.
Yeah. Yeah. Should be interesting. All right. Well, that's another week of the Traitors down. We got more of that next week. Also, we've got Australian Survivor coming up. So the three of us plus Michael will do a draft for Brains versus Brawn 2 at some point before the episodes start, and then you can look forward to some weekly coverage, possibly with.
I think we should do the draft halfway through the season. You know, you would still find a way to lose though, Jake.
Yeah, I would. I somehow lost almost my entire team in Survivor 47, and then Sam still managed to make it to the end where he was guaranteed to lose because it was clear Rachel was winning that season. So. But no, I'm excited to get into it and talk about Australian Survivor again. So it'll be nice. Well, with that, we will see you all next time on the Tribe of Nerds.